Hello everybody, this is AndreasG and welcome to a cast of PA League. We are in Division 2. On today's schedule we have Gregor versus Alfy. This is going to be exciting. The format is best out of 3. Winner takes it all. All 3 games are going to be played regardless. We are live at the Exodus Twitch channel, so exciting to see you all here. Let's jump over to the map and let's take a look. So this, as you likely have seen before, is the classy Baron. It's a moon. As you all can see, we got a big spawning area around the poles here for both players where they can choose. But typically this is the perfect area for a spawn, as there's a lot of metal that can be easily grabbed early on. But also because it's a prime spot closer to their opponent. So we do see both players choosing this spawn. Let's take a look at it. So spawning on the north side, we do have Alfy going orange, opening bots first, moving over to some energy and air. As we do see, he does not queue up any of the mexes. The reason for this being he's going to take advantage of the combat faber that is currently in the meta. As we do see, he is likely going to queue up soon. For now, just a faber. Gonna get some mexes, but also moving over to Wequel here is a very interesting choice. So question is, what tier 2 is he going to prefer with his Wequel factory? I would not be surprised to see tier 2 tanks. So here we finally see the combat faber is going to move over to reclaim the commander, as we know is worth a lot of energy. Over on the other side, on the south pole, we have Grzegorz, or Gregor as I'm going to call him, spawning in red. He's opening... Ooh, interesting fact, he's going Legion. It's the other faction that you can choose to play in this tournament. Not a lot of players choosing to go it, but Gregor, he is usually swearing by Legion, and he's going a heavy bot build, as you see here. Cannot take advantage of the combat faber because it's not in the bot for Legion, but he's going to get out a nice combination of Legion bots and moving over to air and grabbing metal and energy as well. So here you see the Lancer, Patriot and Peacekeepers. This is a combination he's going to mix in, which makes him hard to touch for air, which is the strong build of this cookie cutter, as we're calling it. Very known Legion build, so interesting to see what he can do with that. Out with the early bomber. Going to try to pick off some fabers of Alfy. Alfy, who have 4 fabers out. He do, however, have the hummingbirds available to take out this bomber. The question is if he can see it or not. On the other side, Gregor himself getting 3 fabers too. This faber here don't really have a purpose at the moment, but I would not be surprised to see it going out to grab something. In the meantime, we do see Gregor picking off a faber before he's getting killed by the commander. So likely a very good trade for Gregor. That bomber being expensive, but the fabers too, and it also walked all the way over here to grab the metal. This neglects this expansion for quite some time here. However, Alfy is very heavy in terms of faber, already out with 5 fabers, including a Stitch 2, make it at 6. We can call it faber 2, reclaiming the commander, giving him metal. Commander down to 87%, now 86, and it's going to go further down. However, the interesting choice here is to move into second... Dancing commander, by the way. Marvelous. Moving into second air, which I personally are not a huge fan of going up against Legion, simply because we are going to see very heavy bot build out of Legion, and with a lot of Patriots in there, it's going to be hard to touch. Some air chasing each other here. Alfy spawning with... expanding up here with the train of faber, actually. Gonna get down the entire turret first. Probably a smart choice, then gonna move over to some radar or some metal. This is a massive commitment for 3 of these fabers. It's a huge investment, and if picked off, would be a huge victory for Gregor. However, they can build stuff very, very fast. Let's take a look at the factory count, as I do think, yeah, indeed, Gregor is ahead, and he has actually started his tier 2 bot. Very interesting choice going here with Legion, likely to access the very popular enforcers with high DPS, very much like a slammer. So very, very early tier 2 from Gregor, but if he manages to get it up without being punished, it can count really big for him. However, Alfy is rapidly expanding in the meantime, so this advanced factory is just going to go up, though. It's almost 60% through, and Gregor is crashing in terms of energy, but it's nothing very significant. So this tier 2 factory is a thing, and soon Alfy is forced to deal with it, nicely picking off some of Gregor's expansion. It's going to lock down him for quite some time. 2 new fabbers out though. He's going to try to once again take this area. Another fabber out here. Very nice from Gregor to replace it fast. However, he is actually wasting in terms of metal, which you really do not want to do on such a stage in the game. You'll want to clean that up pretty fast. We finally see a tier 2 from Alfy going advanced bot factory first. The question is, can Gregor, however, make use of this advanced fabber before Alfy gets his up in response? So here we see some raiding parties out for Alfy. Is gonna try to get some good raiding. However, it's a long way and tanks are slow. In comparison, the Legion bots are quite a bit faster, so Gregor is gonna try to run past this engagement, successfully doing so. Hopefully gonna get into the backside here and do some damage. Let's keep that in track. In the meantime, Alfy's ear is experiencing the power of the Patriot. 3 bombers all going down, just take down the fab, but at the cost of 3 bombers and some fighters. I'm not really sure. Personally, I would not prefer it. Gregor now done with his advanced factory, going for the advanced fabber, and excellent choice to secure eco in the future, opening with a power catalyst, which does produce him 6,000 energy. However, if it gets killed with a explosion, because it takes advantage of dark energy, which we all know is explodes, right? Because it's so scientific accurate. Alfy taking out the raiding expansions of Gregor. Nicely done here. Both players playing, I would actually call it very, very defensive at the moment. Passive. Not a lot of huge commitment to attack out. Just small raiding parties that's nicely countered by their opponent. Gregor actually ahead in terms of metal, even though I would say that Alfy has put his base much more out there. Ooh. This is a nasty choice for Alfy, if you ask me, going advanced vehicle factory simultaneously as the bot factory. Ideally, you would want to concentrate the build power on one of these. Can really cost him heavily now that actually the tier 2 bots from Gregor is coming in with the Orm Weaver, excuse me, but enforces with a crazy high DPS. If you can get in here fast, I'm afraid Alfy doesn't really have a ton to respond to. However, they do have a lack of vision. They have a longer range than they have vision, so they are really in need of radar coverage or etc. So if we look here, does have a okay vision, but it's not perfect. Let's take a look at what they see. Gregor not seeing a huge stun. Let's keep this in pip, by the way. Gregor not seeing a huge stun here. A lack of scouting, I would say. Not ideal for him. Alfy, however, sees pretty much everything and knows what's going on with the tier 2 here, and now even sees the incoming army. Crucial information to have, as you cannot respond to something you don't know coming. So now that he sees this, it's going to likely panic and send everything down here. You might as well even cancel this advanced fabber here, because it's not going to put up any defense against this. And then, ooh, this is big. Did his factory just decay? He reclaimed it to build up this one. I think he realizes it was a mistake. In the meantime, let's see what the player says here. Alfy is having problems. His UI is bugged. Okay, this is unfortunate. Hopefully it's going to be solved. I really does not hope that the game is decided by bugs. And, oh, I'm typing, sorry. And here, this crucial battle that might decide the fate of Alfy. Now rebuilding the advanced factory. It's too late. It's going to get this tier 2 Faber out, assisting out the slammers. Might be very, very crucial. Gregor moving over towards the advanced factory. If he can take down this factory, that will be a massive victory for Gregor. Targeted down the slammers. Down goes the factory. Is it going to take it down? I'm afraid it's going to go down. Holy crap. And there it goes. What a massive victory for Gregor. He does manage to let the advanced Faber survive, but down goes the tier 2 factory, and he's just moving ahead. This Lancer's is kept alive by the outside peacekeepers and patriots here. It's going to pack enormous damage. The enforcers are taken out, but still there's Lancers there, and the commander, as dangerous as it goes, needs to put out the Uber cannon. Nicely done so. And it is defended for now, but at what cost? We see this advanced bot factory going down together with other factories in eco, and Gregor is ahead here. But if you look at the unit count, Alfy is actually also ahead. Ooh, because on the other side, Alfy actually manages to raid quite successfully. What a turn of events, and now Gregor, which actually has a lot of tier 2 units, can pack a really good punch, is putting all of them to the back here to respond to a small raiding party. Really not necessary, and really not something you want to do if you have a good idea on what's going on, because one of these enforcers would have been enough. But what is he doing? Is he pushing through the back? Personally, I'm not a fan of this. Much longer way to the backside than to the foreside. However, he already has 2 tier 2 factories, soon 3, and there we go, 3 tier 2 factories for Gregor. It's going to produce a ton of powerful units in comparison to Alfy, who's still struggling to get his second or first in this scenario. But this, however, is going to give him access to the leveler. Chooses to go another factory Faber out first, but then he's likely going to go over to produce the levelers that we all know is very, very powerful. Possibly even the most powerful unit in this game at this point. However, Alfy is ahead. Much deserved work from this advanced tier 2 Faber. Really MVP, creating a lot of eco from this Nexus here. Really needs to make that count, as Gregor sits on all the momentum in terms of units. So this unit is walking around here now, deciding to push through the middle, and I don't see what Alfy has against this. Is this here the GG push? Ooh, no, Gregor decides that everything needs to defend on this side. Really not a choice you want to make, if you ask me. What does he know? Does not know a huge stun. Maybe a raider would have helped. In the meantime, he is leaving his commander very much vulnerable here. But the vehicles are all over this place, so Alfy, I have to give him credit for some resourceful raiding here, putting Gregor down, but his troops might just be very, very much too much for him, as might be the GG force. How many enforcers is this? Likely up to 20 enforcers here. He's going to try to push in here and deal damage to the base. No mine spotting units in here. However, Alfy does not use the mines at the moment. We see eco is flourishing for Alfy, even wasting most of it. Really not ideal either, as you see a lot of his eco has gone into more eco rather than units, and leaving his very, very vulnerable for this Legion force they're putting in. And I'm afraid this is it for Alfy. I really am. This is very, very big push by Gregor, taking advantage of the strength of Legion, which we all know is units, and packing a punch, really just getting that deadly force pushing into the base. And as this other tier 2 factory go down for Alfredo, I really don't see a way back. Would not be surprised to see his commander blowing up. Really nicely played from Gregor. He does lack a bit in terms of expansions, in terms of reaction, in terms of putting his units in the right space, but he does just efficiently build more units than his opponent, and he makes sure it doesn't really matter that he divides his forces wrongly, because he is going to get this deadly punch, which he did get here, and down goes Alfy. What a victory by Gregor. And he goes a bit BM in the chat, posting a meme, I would call it. Wow. So Gregor just proving that it's not only about economy, it's really all about the units you have available. Alfy did not have the tier 2 unit, did not have the right response to Gregor's units, and he just walked into the base, killed it all. Wow, well-deserved victory from Gregor. I'm excited to see going forward if Alfy can come back. I do know Alfy is a very strong player, and I think is very much capable of killing Gregor. However, Gregor is a nasty Legion player. In Alfy, maybe taken a bit out of his element, playing against Legion, needs to be more reactive, needs to go a tier 2 factory for Gregor, or at least responding faster. Otherwise, we might very well see the same scenario play out just on the next map, which is Amazonia Safari, so stay tuned for that.